Well, guys, it's hard for me to say, but we've been browning butter the hard way. There's an easier way I can show you, and it's using the microwave. I'm not a chef.
What?
I tried looking up different methods on browning butter. All of them point to using a pan. I have this black nonstick skillet. Some of them recommend using the shiny stainless steel or aluminum pans, usually not aluminum, so you can see the color change in real time. But although it works, you have to be watching over the pan a lot longer with a lot more anxiety to make sure you go from melting to foaming to browning and not to the burning stage, which is very easy to cross. So easy enough, we're going to use a stick of unsalted butter. You can scale it up as your vessel will allow. I have a microwave safe container with a lid. You can also put in a piece of paper towel or parchment paper to keep the splatter down. And check this out, look how easy this is. We're going to take the skin off the butter. Promise it doesn't hurt. And as we do that, keep in mind that in this kitchen, we waste not and we want not. We're going to reserve the paper from the butter stick, wrap it back up and keep it in the fridge. Whenever you have to lightly grease a casserole dish or a muffin tin, you have this at your disposal. Well, use before you actually dispose of it. The butter we're going to break up into smaller bits so that it quickly melts. A large stick of butter will have a harder time breaking down as the center stays cold while the outside edge starts to melt. And what we're looking for is an even cooking process of the butter. So I'm breaking it into roughly small cubes, cutting it in half and again until you get a small dice. And there you have it. Your butter is broken down. Next step, transfer this butter to your microwave safe vessel. Scatter it in there. I'm putting on a piece of parchment paper to help catch the splatter, yet still allow the steam to rise. And the next step is just to pop it into the microwave. All right, we got that lid on securely. And now for the first minute. Okay, first 60 seconds in, and what we have is, as predicted, melted butter. I'm going to reposition the paper on top. And hit it for another 30 seconds. All right, after that 30-second blast, you probably heard a bit of popping and exploding. That's the liquid escaping from your golden butter and foam starting to form on top. That's a good sign. You want that. That means it's working. And we're going to hit it for another 30 seconds and keep going till we start to see these separating solids start to change color. Well, those separating solids, everything's separated here. I had a bit of an explosion. I'm going to pour this butter back into the heating vessel and make sure I had this ventilating correctly. I had it off center and it just built up and blew up. All right, going in again, I switched to a paper towel, made sure this was a little bit more loose after our big summer blowout, yeah? And handy kitchen hack, using these blue mechanics towels, awesome for cleaning up oil in the kitchen. All right, and again, let's take a look. Those explosion sounds are starting to die down. The boom, boom is going to die down as the water is evaporated from the butter. Again, another swirl. See that foam? Recapture it into the liquid and do it again. Cool. And we're swirling again. Get those solids back into the bottom of the vessel. Those again are the milk solids that are going to brown up and give this oil its color at the end. And now I'm going to hit that mic button. You hit that like button if you enjoy these videos, and stay tuned. See it dancing in there. Again with the swirl. And we're getting close. I can smell it getting a bit nutty. Let's try to capture this foam. Look, it's turning brown. And it's brown on the bottom, so let's pull it. All right, now you see it. This butter has browned. It's still bubbling. Let me show you. It's got a nucleation point at the bottom, but the milk solids have definitely changed color. I'm going to scrape it off the sides and put it into a separate container to cool off. Here we go, all that goodness. Remember, there's that residual heat from being cooked in the microwave that if we don't transfer the butter, it's going to continue to cook in the vessel, and you might go a little bit past where you want to be. But we're right on it. This smells delicious. I'm getting goosebumps because I love brown butter. I've been putting it on everything, even simple toast. Some of that perfect sandwich bread recipe that I have, it transformed it for me. It tasted floral, nutty, sweeter. My bread is already at an awesome level. With the brown butter, it's astronomical. And it's still separated out. You can see the brown bits at the bottom, looking a bit like breadcrumbs, toasted breadcrumbs. And the oil is dark with some of that milk solid in suspension. If you let it sit long enough, it'll separate out completely. But as it cools, just mix it together and you'll have a uniform brown butter for anything you want to use it on. Especially something like those brown butter cookies. That recipe is the bomb with this as your butter source. Over vegetables as a finishing glaze for any meats that you're cooking. When you're searing off a steak in the pan, have some of this with garlic, herbs, and it's magical. But look, easy as that, and you did it. Looking like brown sand.